So, time to get shooting, finally. So, before she gets shooting, we need to load the gun. How do we load this gun, right? So right now, she's wearing a holster. The gun is on her hip, on her strong side. It has been unloaded because we've been going over the dry firing and some other drills. And so now we're ready to shoot. So you always want to load with your support hand, unless the gun is on your right side in the holster, okay? If the gun is out, I'm always loading with my support hand, the hand that is not my strong hand. So always carry your ammunition or your magazines on your support side of your body, all right, when you're training, as well as in a situation where you're carrying as well, okay? So she's carrying her magazines on her support side. So she's grabbed that magazine. Go ahead and put it in your other hand now.
And then you face this way.
Yeah, there you go. Bullets toward the front of the gun and the flat top to the rear. She puts it in. Bump that in with your heel or tap it in with the heel of your hand, the palm of your hand, and now pull on it to make sure it's going to stay. It's seated properly. All right, now go ahead and draw your weapon. Don't laser your hand. There you go. Very good, very good. Now we're going to come on target. Now the gun's already loaded. So point the weapon downrange towards your target. Bring your support hand over the top, and you're going to push-pull like you did a while ago. There you go. Now it's loaded. We made sure our trigger finger was off the trigger when we did that. Very good job doing that. And now it's loaded, ready to rock. That type of sound is what we want. You never want to ride the slide. You never want to pull it back slowly and then ride it back. Let your hand come off. And it's okay if you hit your shoulder a little bit. It's not going to hurt. You did it yourself, right? It just bumped my shoulder. But basically, I'm going to push the hand forward toward the target that the gun is in, while my support hand, I pull back on that slide. And I want to pull it hard enough where I'm pulling that slide back. I'm going to keep pulling, and my hand's going to slide right off of it, and naturally it's going to do its normal motion it was created to do, and it's going to bring a round in from the magazine into the chamber, and now you're ready to go. Okay? So let's focus it back here on her gun again real quick. Point it forward. On some guns, your extractor is this little part right here. That extractor has a protrusion out the side. So you can always use your trigger finger to reach over here and feel if there's actually a bullet in the chamber. This will feel a little bit sharp or rough. Go ahead and feel that, Bailey. See how it's a little sharp or rough? That's telling you that there's a bullet in the chamber now, okay? You don't have to do anything else. It's telling you it's there, okay? They started putting these on a decade and a half ago. So, the way they design these extractors on just about all guns. Even guns on the top, some of these guns will have an extractor on the top and it'll actually show red. It's protruding up a little bit. It's just an indicator there's a round in the chamber. That's how you know. If you don't have any of that, or you wanted to do it another way, you could always bring your gun back right here. Now with this hand, bring it over the top like this. Yep. Now squeeze your hand together.
What am I doing?
You're going to bring this hand down a little bit. Squeeze your hand a little bit to open it up. And now you see there's brass, or in this particular situation, that's silver or chrome plated type of stuff, right? That's silver brass, we call it. So that's also telling us there's a round in the chamber. This is called a press check. I'm pressing this slide against the grip back just enough, not to cause problems, but back just enough so I can see that there's a round in the chamber, and that's what you did. All right, so go ahead and let go, point it back forward. Always, after you do a press check, you're going to bump the slide forward to make sure it's in battery. Now I know it is because I can see that it's flat, but if you never know, sometimes what will happen is it'll rest like that. If you have a weak recoil spring, if you've got a weak recoil spring, then it's going to cause problems. This is called out of battery, and your gun won't fire like that. So you always want to make sure it goes forward. Another way to make sure it goes forward, just take your support hand and bump the back of it real quick. Yeah, boom, that's it. That's exactly right. So now, those are two ways to check to make sure we have a round in the chamber. We're ready to go. The gun is hot. Okay, the other way to load the gun is if the gun was already out, or I wanted to bring it out in front of me first. So Bailey, I'm going to do this with you. We're all both facing down range. All right, we're shoulder to shoulder. We're safe as we do this, right? You're going to go ahead and draw your gun and bring it out, point to the target. All right, now bring it in front of you in this position right here. This is our working conditions that we want to work in. Anytime we're going to work on the gun, whether it's load it, fix a malfunction, whatever we're going to do, we want it here. I can see what's in front of me, just 12 to 14 inches in front of my face, as well as I'm not down here. When I'm up here, I can see right over my muzzle at my threat that's trying to hurt me. I can see if they move, if they get behind cover, if they run, if they go down and they're staying down now, that kind of thing. I want to be able to still keep an eye on the thing that was trying to hurt me, right, or somebody else. So that's why I do everything up here. Some people, they want to do, they're reloading and all that down here. Well, now I've lost sight of whatever was the problem. And I can't do both at the same time very well. But right here, I can focus on both very well. All right, so in this condition right here, now you're going to grab that magazine. There you go. Bullets to the front, or facing the front of the gun, the flat part to the rear. And if you stage your magazines where you can get the magazine with your finger on the front side and on the bullets, that's great. Some people will stage them where they reach it and they index their thumb on the back side. That's fine too, as long as you do it the same way every time. That's the point. I want to be able to do this in the dark if I ever had to, and I hope I don't, but if I had to, it's not the first time I practiced this. It is muscle memory. So either way you stage that, bullets to the front with your facing your finger, or thumbs on the back side on the flat part, either way is fine. But now we're going to index our finger along the front right here, and we're going to feed it in with our palm kind of forcefully. There you go. Now, from right here, we're going to roll our hand right over and push forward and pull back. There we go. Now we just loaded the gun. And just like before, you can go ahead and keep the gun up. Feel that extractor with your finger. Feel that sharp edge. You know the gun is hot. You know the gun has a bullet in the chamber. It's ready to fire. If you pull the trigger right now, it will fire, right? So you always want to be aware of condition your gun is in. So always feel that extractor, or do the press check like I talked about before. Okay, so now we know it's ready to go. Now that the gun is loaded, all right, I'm going to have you put your ears on. So you need to holster up in order to put your ears on. So we're going to put our hearing protection on. We already have our eye protection on. There you go. And you don't have to have special hearing protection, by the way. You can have foam earplugs. You can have plastic ones that have those ribs on them, that kind of thing. You can buy at sporting goods stores. You can buy this muff style. I've been shooting for years, and I can tell you that this is probably the better. The more coverage I get over my ears, the better. We're outdoors. This is probably going to be enough. If I was shooting in an enclosed type of range with concrete floors and maybe baffles on top, then I'm probably going to want to double up. That's just me, because I've been shooting for years. My hearing's now pretty sensitive. I'm starting to recognize that in crowds with a lot of noise around, I can't hear everything that's going on, or if people are trying to have a conversation with me. And that's because I didn't protect my ears enough. So you can double up, foam these, and then put these on. But your muff style is definitely going to be the better style to go over the whole ear, is what's recommended, okay? So we're going to go ahead and put our ears on, and then we're going to get to shooting.